All right, everybody. Good morning. Schedule release day has come and gone. If you watched the stream last night, you got to see me live react to the schedule the first time I saw it. So if you were a part of that, that was fun. You can go back and watch the VOD of the stream, of course. But now that we've had the opportunity to react to it and kind of digest it, I think it's time to actually talk about it at length. So, the Seattle Seahawks 2024 schedule is out in full. We know who we're playing, we know when we're playing them, and we basically have all the information we need to know what to expect. In a manner of speaking, anyway, I think that it would be fair to say that we at this point know basically everything that we're going to know. There's not going to be a lot of stuff meaningful from training camp or even preseason, really. So the picture has been basically painted. So let's go through it. Let's talk through this schedule. Let's see how we feel about it. We do have a preseason schedule, of course. We got the Chargers, Titans, and Browns. Usually we play the Raiders, so interesting that we're not doing that this year. We do usually play the Chargers. I remember many preseason games against the Chargers, so that's familiar. But then we also get a couple of games against teams we usually don't play in the preseason, the Titans and the Browns. So read into that as you will. There's only one home preseason game, by the way, being the Browns. And then we're off to the regular season. So let's take a look at what we got. Starting at home against the Denver Broncos, who are likely going to be starting a rookie quarterback in his first ever NFL start, Bo Nix. So that's appealing. Also appealing would be that Denver Broncos defense that, to me, still is not particularly good. They were not good last year, outside of like a 1 month stretch where they turned into the 85 Bears. Other than that, they were pretty soft. And then they let go of one of their best players, Justin Simmons. So the Denver Broncos week 1 at home, that's as good a way to start your season off as any season, right? They figure to be one of the worst teams in the league. I don't know if they're going to be as bad as people are saying, but they're probably going to be bad. So just a nice, simple Sunday game at 1:05 p.m. at home. Nothing special to it. It's not not any kind of a primetime game or anything like that. Feeling pretty good there. And then it's another supposedly weak team we're playing in week 2. We get the Patriots on the road. First season with Gerard Mayo as their head coach. And quite possibly another rookie quarterback here with Drake May. We'll see if he ends up getting the starting nod at this point. It could be Brissett. But either way, New England's defense is probably going to slip some because they lost Belichick. And their offense, while I do think it's trending in the right direction, still is probably not going to be very good no matter who the quarterback is. So, again, you are starting off the season with an opportunity to win some games and bank them in September. Week 3, you got the Miami Dolphins at home, which is really unfortunate. You don't want to play these Dolphins in September. The September Dolphins might be the greatest team that ever walked the earth. So that's unfortunate. Now, it is at home, so there does exist a possibility where you're able to win this game because it's raining. Like if it's raining or, anything like that, any inclement conditions, maybe you can find a way to win that game. But normal conditions, assuming it's dry, it's going to be tough because that's just the Miami Dolphins way. They are the September champions. So not great there. We then get a road game, Monday Night Football at Detroit. This is going to be a really fun one. I could see this one going either way. I think this is going to be a tough game, but I do think it is a doable game. I'm not convinced the Lions have done enough to fix their defense. I think they're still probably going to be an average at best defense. Now, their offense should still be cooking. They kept most of the key pieces on their offense. They lost Josh Reynolds, who I think they'll be okay without that. They got that great offensive line. They've got a newly minted $200 million quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. So that's going to be a very interesting and fun one. Going to be very difficult to go on the road and win that game, but we've gone on the road to Detroit and won games before. So it's certainly doable. But that's our first primetime game Monday night. And then week 5, we come back home to play the Giants, a 125 start time. So, Giants, it's kind of an interesting thing they've decided to do this offseason with the way they're trying to give Daniel Jones a legitimate one final chance. And I will say it's a legitimate last chance. They've given him a true number one receiver. They're trying to fix the offensive line, although I think their results there are going to, at the end of the day, be mixed. But at the end of the day, I just don't think it's going to be quite enough. And I do and I do expect us to be able to take care of business at home. They're flying 3,000 miles to get out here to play us. So I'm going to say I feel pretty good about that one right now for what it's worth. Week 6, we got Thursday night against the Niners at home. This is the hill we have to get over here, right? This is one of the things that we have to get beyond if we're going to get back to what we were as a team under the Legion of Boom era. What did we do with the Legion of Boom? We usually beat the Niners. So we got to get back to it at some point. This is a great opportunity. It's a Thursday night game. It's at home. And who knows what the 49ers are going to have when this game actually kicks off, by the way. Is Debo going to be there? Is Ayuk going to be there? Is Kittle going to be there? There are some possibilities of things going one way or the other with that roster. But at a certain point, you're just going to have to nut up and do it. You're going to have to prove that the problems that your defense encountered stopping the Shanahan attack the last couple of years is gone with the Mike McDonald defense. You're not going to get a better opportunity than this. Week 7, you're going to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Interesting game. Interesting thing to break down here. Again, first of all, we have to figure out what quarterback we're going to be dealing with. I assume it's going to be Cousins, but he did tear his Achilles, so there is some question marks there. Atlanta's defense probably not going to be that good. However, in Atlanta, that offense should be able to turn games into a track meet, kind of like the old Matt Ryan, Julio Jones Falcons teams. So they have the potential to blow you off the field just through the strength of their offense. And I do wonder if they're going to be bringing that kind of firepower to the NFL this year. So at Atlanta is always going to be tough as long as they have a good team. And I suspect this year they're going to have a good team. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders. They should be good. Week 8, we got the Buffalo Bills. I do wonder if the sun is starting to set on the Buffalo Bills. I wonder if last year was the last gasp of the Buffalo Bills as a Super Bowl contender. We are getting them at home as well. They've obviously downgraded significantly at receiver. Josh Allen does not have a lot of very appetizing things to work with. So I probably feel better about this game than most people, but it's still going to be difficult. They might still manage to churn out an elite defense. Typically they have under McDermott, but I do wonder if last year was a little bit of an aberration, them finding a way to churn out a really nice defensive season when they didn't have so many of their key players. Now, they've lost some of those key players permanently as well, but McDermott has shown that he usually comes out on top, but I'm just wondering if maybe this is the end of the line for that. Week 9, we got a home game against the Rams. This is another one of the things we got to get past, right? And historically, we've really had a hard time getting past it. It doesn't matter who the it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter who the players are that much. This one's just hard. And great chance for Mike McDonald to show that we are going to get beyond it. So that's going to be an interesting challenge. Of course, it's not going to be an easy thing. It's not going to be a simple thing. But I do look at this Week 9 game, and I think that's an opportunity to show what we're going to be this season. We got a great bye week, Week 10, so I support that bye week in full. It breaks up the little, how should I put this? It breaks up the little gauntlet that we're running here. Basically, the one really tough part of the schedule here. You've got the Giants, Falcons, Bills, Rams, Niners. That is not a fun 5-game gauntlet. Although, I will say, either the Falcons or the Bills won't be that good this year, I think. One of the two will not be great this year. But that is a tough gauntlet, so breaking it up with the bye week is nice, and getting a bye week more than 2 months into the season is, I think, a positive. Okay, so then we play the Niners again on the road, so, I mean, everything I said about the Niners before still applies. Nothing much changing there. That's one of the things we're going to have to overcome if we want to get back to greatness. And we got home against the Cardinals, 125 start time. So Cardinals, they did a lot of things right last year. They impressed me. They showed signs that maybe they did make some right decisions recently. Maybe they did make a good coaching hire with Gannon. Maybe they are building that team in the right way with the new GM. But at the same time, that's a game you should be expecting to win. It's at home. That Cardinals team is probably still a year away. We don't know if they're committed to their quarterback for real or not at this point. We're going to find out. So, got to take care of that. Then we get into December, traveling to New York to play the Jets, 10 a.m. start time. That's tough to overcome, that 3,000-mile trip. It just is, going West Coast to East Coast. It's not fun. And playing that Jets team will not be fun either. They're going to have a good defense. And if Aaron Rodgers is out there and they have that offense going, hard for me to see much good happening here. I think that Jets team with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, and he'll probably be back in rhythm by week 13, is going to be formidable. Week 14, we go to Arizona. Same things I said about them earlier still apply. I'm not afraid of playing them in Arizona. We've won enough games in Arizona over the years for me to feel like we can do that. We've had our share of misfortune in Arizona, but we've also beaten that Cardinals team a lot, even when they're good. Week 15, we go and host the Green Bay Packers. This is a Sunday night game. This is primetime. And getting this game at home, I think, is a big boost. I do think this Packers team will be good. I will say I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid on them being a juggernaut this year like some people are. I can understand where that comes from, but I don't see them being some elite team. I'll put it to you that way. Okay, so I feel pretty good about it. I think that Packers team still has some weaknesses defensively that you can exploit. And I think that by this point in the season, your defense is going to be in a pretty good place, and they're going to be able to do some really good things against an offense featuring a younger quarterback and some not so great pieces. Like, I don't think those Green Bay wide receivers are all that great. I think that the scheme can make them look great at times. Week 16, home at Minnesota. Minnesota should be interesting this year. I'm not going to say good because I don't trust their quarterback. I think the rest of that offense is pretty legit, but I don't know about that defense. They lost Danielle Hunter. They did replace him well with Dallas Turner, but I don't know about that Vikings team this year. It's obviously another rookie quarterback we might be playing in this game. It'll probably be his job by then. So feeling pretty good there. Then we go to Chicago, and I got my guard up here. This is a late December game in Chicago, Thursday night football, short week coming off the Vikings game. That's going to be a fun offense over there in Chicago with the Caleb and those receivers, and I think that team is going to be doing some good things by week 17. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team this year, but I think they're going to find their way to success. So people are going to be sleeping on this one a little bit, but I'm telling you, don't sleep on it. That Bears team has a chance to be dangerous this year, especially late December at home. Week 18, we don't know if this is going to be a primetime game or not. Probably not. But we got the Rams on the road. So if this game ends up being like for a playoff spot or something like that, that's going to be a very nice litmus test. And I can easily see a scenario where week 18 against the Rams is for a playoff spot. And that is it for the schedule. So 4 primetime games, 9 home games, 8 road games. I mean, it's not bad. There isn't a lot in this schedule that I dislike. The gauntlet in the middle is rough, but you're always going to have some kind of a gauntlet unless your schedule is paper. We start out with 2 teams that should be pretty bad with rookie quarterbacks. It sucks to not get Miami at the end of the year, but other than that, I think this schedule is fairly agreeable. So that is my take on the schedule so far. I feel like we're going to see a better version of this Seahawks team. That doesn't mean I think we're going to be an amazing team or an elite team this year, but I do think that this schedule will allow us to maximize ourselves. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks, and maybe another video coming later today, but if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow with rookie stuff.